Let's take a trip to the Big Ten, shall we? Normally, our video producer, Michael Montgomery, a.k.a. Monty, his Hawkeyes, they're in a big battle tomorrow. Monty's off tonight. We got Max Sheedy working on the show. But Monty will be watching with bated breath tomorrow as the Hawkeyes have a big one. They will try to knock off number 13 Purdue at Carver Hawkeye Arena tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern. Number 13 Purdue at 20-4, but a team that has, I don't know, maybe leaking a little bit of oil here lately, Brad. They have won 3 in a row, but they had to come back from behind to beat Nebraska in overtime. They barely beat Oregon at home. They lost to Indiana a couple of weeks ago, lost to your Illinois at home a couple of weeks ago. So what's the deal here with the Purdue Boilermakers? They're only a 1.5-point favorite tomorrow over Iowa that was on a big winning streak. Well, until they got tripped up by the Maryland Terrapins a couple of nights ago, losing that one in College Park 77-70. That snapped a 6-game win streak for them, albeit none of those wins came against ranked teams. So what do we make of these two squads here, especially the Boilermakers? They were flying high a couple of weeks ago. Now, a lot of question marks surrounding them. What do you make of this game?
Well, Purdue all of a sudden back in the Big Ten title mix. They're 10-3. They are locked with Illinois. They are locked in with Michigan State. All three of those teams tied up, and then Nebraska too at 10-3. So they're all chasing Michigan. So every game is utmost importance, to say the least. And this is a really important spot as well for the Iowa Hawkeyes, because you look at the resume. They're top 25 overall in the Nets. And you might say, oh, that's outstanding. Yeah, but you peel back the layers, the onion. They have a nice overall record, but they only have 2 quarter-1 wins right now. Very bubblicious is Iowa. Now, they're on the front end of the bubble. My latest edition of the Bracket Big Board, which I updated earlier today, I have the Hawkeyes projected as a number 9 seed. But they really want to cement the ground underneath them in the at-large conversation. They could ultimately do it at home at Carver Hawkeye against Purdue. I'm going to pinch my nose. I like Iowa in this game. I'm going to take them straight up. So if you take them on the money line, I think they're plus 105 right now at BetMGM. This line does seem stinky based on what Purdue has been able to do, but Purdue has been struggling closing out a lot of games. This game is going to live in the half court. Iowa's going to dictate pace. They're one of the slowest teams in the country, 352 of the nation adjusted tempo. Purdue honestly prefers a slower pace, as they're 286 the last 30 days in that category. The biggest issue for Purdue right now, and PU definitely applies, it's on the defensive end. Pat, they're number 325 in the country in their last 8 games. An effective field goal percentage defense. They're giving up 56.7% inside the arc and over 34% outside of it. Bennett Sturtz is going to have a field day. He may drop 30, 35 in this game for Iowa. If some of the ancillary players can step up their games in this one, and Iowa can play some stiff and stout defense, try to neutralize the all-ball defense in action, spearheaded by Braden Smith. Of course, you got Coleman Wren to contend with. Fletcher Lawyer's playing better, though he has been a roller coaster ride all season long. Clough has played well inside. In my gut, though, I believe Iowa's going to take this. Maybe Caitlin Clark's going to suit up for the dudes, and she's going to come out there and drop like a 50 burger on them. Who knows? Iowa will find a way to win. I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my bones. I'm doing it from Michael Montgomery here, our outstanding video producer on BetMGM tonight. Give me Iowa on the money line.
Well, you make such a compelling case that I guess I just have to follow. You know what? Screw it. I'm going with Purdue. I think they're the better team. I know it's tough to play. In Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Brad. I get it, but look, I just think Purdue's the better squad, man, and I think they're going to answer a lot of questions that are surrounding this team going into it. I know how great Bennett Sturtz is. I'm still of the belief you take him out of the equation, Iowa just doesn't have enough scoring. They don't, and Purdue, when Matt Painter really wants to focus on taking one player out of the equation, I think more often than not, they normally do that. So with Purdue, you got to stop Smith and Fletcher Lawyer and Trey Kaufman-Wren. You got a bunch of different guys that can beat you. But for Iowa, I feel like if you stop Bennett Sturtz, then there you go. That's how you win the ball game. Yeah. And so, you know what? He could prove me wrong. He could shut me up and go for 30 tomorrow and just, turn it like an absolute microwave and just heat up like this. But if Purdue can take him out of the equation, or at least keep him to just slightly under his season average at 20 points per game. Purdue's going to win this game. I think they're the better overall team. I think they prove it tomorrow. I think they get a gritty road win. So I'll take the Boilermakers laying the 1.5 points. You and I, a little mano on that one. All right, let's go back to the Big 12. How does the number one team in the country rebound from their first loss back on Monday night? Arizona at 23-1 after that Monday night loss on the road to Kansas, who played without Darren Peterson. Now they come home back to McHale Memorial Center in Tucson, and they take on number 16 Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, at 18-6, and they have won back-to-back games after they lost to Kansas at home a week and a half ago. They also have knocked off Houston this year. The Texas Tech Red Raiders also have some other notable wins, including knocking off number 3 Duke on a neutral court, and they beat number 11 BYU a couple of weeks ago. Brad, is it as simple as, I feel like this is a big narrative game. I saw a lot of people saying, by the way, oh, that loss might be the best thing for Arizona. Now they don't have to play with all the weight on their shoulders of trying to have an undefeated season. They're going to be, reared up and ready to go, looking for revenge after that loss. I don't know if it's that simple, but how do you see this game playing out tomorrow between two really good teams?
Yeah, I think honestly, this game is going to come down to the great equalizer, the almighty 3, right? Because Texas Tech, man, they're one of the most prolific three-point shooting squads in the country. Pat, over the last 8 games, the Red Raiders, and guns up indeed, they're shooting over 42%, America, from distance. You look at Christian Anderson, a guy on the season shooting 43.8% from 3. I look at Donovan Atwell. He's shooting over 45% from 3. I mean, they got gunners all over the place on the floor. They have one of the best big men in the game, a walking, talking double-double, and JT Toppin. I think, obviously, Arizona has the size when Mount Krivas and Awaka to somewhat neutralize JT Toppin and some of the inside-outside action. But if Toppin gets a touch inside, he kicks it out to a man on the perimeter, and Arizona does not defend that part of the game well, Texas Tech can plunge dagger after dagger after dagger. So I kind of like the Red Raiders plus a 9.5. I kind of like the over in this game as well at 155.5. Both these teams relish a faster pace. It's going to be an up-tempo style. This game, I think, could be well into the 80s when it's all said and done down there in Tucson. So, again, give me Texas Tech. I think they're live dogs. They're going to win outright. I'm not going to go that far, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than some people suspect. And I really like that over at 155.5. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Texas Tech, I think it's, for me, this is, ignoring maybe some of the X's and O's here, which I know can be dangerous to do. I look at it from the narrative, like there's a lot of people that are going to think, oh, Arizona, they lose on the road to Kansas. Now they're going to come home and they're going to be, looking to crush Texas Tech. I just don't think it's that simple. Like you mentioned, the Red Raiders, now to switch it to X's and O's here, if they're knocking down their threes and they shoot at 39% in the regular season, look out. Like they can win this game. JT Toppin, by the way, on the inside is an absolute freaking dog, one of the best players in the country at 22-10 per game or 22-11 per game. And then Christian Anderson, he can get going on any single day, whether it's beating you with scoring 25 points or dropping double-digit assists. And so I think that Arizona's got two big players that they've got to really snuff out here. And, the Wildcats, their offense kind of went in the tank for the final couple of minutes in that game against Kansas. They could not get the shot they wanted. They really struggled. Now, Texas Tech's defense, obviously not as good as Kansas, and, you're not playing inside of Fog Allen. I just think it's maybe a little bit too simplistic to just think, oh, Arizona's bouncing back, no problem. They're going to beat a team that's beaten Duke. They're going to beat a team that's beaten Houston here, and they're going to do it by double digits without a problem. No, I think Texas Tech is going to keep this game close. So I'm with you. Give me the Red Raiders to cover the 9.5. Finally, let's hit a little mid-major, shall we? Although it is one of the best mid-major teams in the country, let's go out to the WCC late tomorrow night, as it normally is. It's at the Levy Center in Santa Clara. Number 12 Gonzaga at 24-2. It may be the best mid-major rivalry in all of college basketball. Am I being facetious saying that? Going up against Santa Clara, the Broncos at 22-5. both teams with one loss in conference play. Gonzaga's, theirs came stunningly as 22-point favorites to the Portland Pilots. Meanwhile, Santa Clara, their one loss in conference play so far, it came at the hands of Gonzaga when these two squared off at the Kennel in January. Gonzaga won that one 89-77. And so we've got the rematch here late tomorrow night, Brad. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, this game is just colossal, I believe, for Santa Clara. Steve Nash needs this. I have him right now as my very first team out of the projected NCAA tournament field. Again, they got a quadrant 3 loss on the resume, so they got to erase that. And what better way to do it against the mighty Gonzaga Bulldogs? Gonzaga right now teetering on the 4-3 line on the bracket big board. They could use this game as well to solidify their position with a higher seed. I just don't trust the Bulldogs right now, man. The Zags just been so inconsistent. You mentioned that inexplicable loss they had against Portland. Graham Ike is a dude. He's going to go out there and probably get 25 and like 7 to 10 rebounds in this game. It's the other guys who are going to step up. They really miss Braden Huff, who's still out with a knee injury. Meanwhile, you look at Santa Clara, a team that's number 25 in the nation over the last 30 days in effective field goal percentage offense. Pat, they're shooting nearly 60% inside the arc and 36.7% outside of it. Guys like Graves and Hammond are gunners, and they're very good at splashing threes consistently. Hammond shooting over 40% from way downtown this season. Decent defensively as well at 113. And EFGD over that same 30-day span. Gonzaga a little bit better in that category, number 74. I know it's a small margin, and I think the common and casual college basketball fans going to be like, oh, my gosh, Zags. Oh, they're bitter Betsy still about that Portland game. They're going to go in to the South Bay and absolutely wallop, absolutely crush Santa Clara. I'm going to lay the 3.5. Au contraire, mon frere. I like Santa Clara. They are live dogs in this game. I'm not sure they're going to win outright, but I think it's going to be a single possession loss. If they do catch it, give me the Broncos. Giddy up! Plus 3.5 at home.
Yeah, we are aligned once again here. I like Santa Clara. And I think, you look historically at how these two have played and how these battles have gone here. Santa Clara's done a pretty damn good job of protecting their home floor. Gonzaga's done a great job of protecting the Kennel when they square off with one another. And I just, like you mentioned, Graham Ike killed them last time they met with one another, and he's got the potential to do it again. But yeah, as you said, it's about can they get the scoring from other players. And Braden Huff, he's ruled out for this game, right? Braden Huff is out; he's not playing.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's, there's 18 points right there that's out of your lineup. And Santa Clara, they have struggled to defend the interior this year. Like I said, Graham Ike crushed them 34-11, if I remember correctly, when they last squared off. But, again, now is an opportunity here for the Broncos. Like you mentioned, it's a massive game. They realize if they want to make the NCAA tournament, there's not much better opportunities for them to prove that on their resume. This is a game that the entire school, the entire campus has to be ready for. Talking about, Levy Center is not that tough a place to play, and screw that. Tomorrow night, it better be an absolute frenzy. And I think that Santa Clara, you said maybe it's a single possession loss. I'll do you one better. I think Santa Clara knocks off Gonzaga tomorrow. This is a Bulldogs team. We've seen them, man. If they're not playing their A game, they are absolutely beatable. Yeah, did they look ahead against Portland? Maybe. Did they look ahead against Seattle? Maybe. I mean, how many look-ahead spots does a team that plays in a really bad conference get afforded to them? So I think Santa Clara is up for this challenge tomorrow, and I think they're going to keep this close.